Daniel Erlander, in his book, Baptized We Live, talks about it this way. You can click on it. Talks about it as a way of following. It has to be shaped by the gospel, the good news that Jesus gives. And he says, one of the things we have to understand is this, that this is accepting a reality that we as humans would do almost anything to avoid, to ignore, to escape, to evade. And that reality is this, that we are called to die in order to live. I mean, how far did Mendoza go in those scenes to avoid going the place he needed to go? You know, he chose a life of violence, of enslaving others, living for himself, even killing his brother until he got to this place where he couldn't go on. And he'd rather have died, almost rather die than to go on, but he knew there was something more. And I think it's for most of us, we don't want that. We don't want to have to die to things that matter to us, for something that really gives life. Next. Luther called this reality the theology of the cross. And its opposite is the theology of glory, which is this. It's any way to live a religious life without dying. It's any way to worship Jesus without radical obedience. It's what great teachers of our tradition call, next slide, the word without the cross, or admiring Christ instead of following Christ, or cheap grace rather than costly grace. The theology of the cross is meeting God where God chooses to find us, in our sorrow, our pain, our weakness, hearing God's gracious word of the death of Jesus on the cross, and following Jesus in his death and resurrection. When I watch the scenes, I just think of how much more of life did this character find through that struggle and through that suffering than he ever would have had before. Finding this life that is really life. So we understand that following Jesus in his death and his resurrection means that our baptism becomes the overpowering event in our lives, the event which tells us who we are and how we are to live. And what I mean is this, is that all of us are made in God's images. All of us belong to God. And this event we call baptism that we don't understand as a gift that comes from God invites us into a new way of living, of dying to the things that we think matter most, to live for others. And Paul uses symbolism. He says, in the waters of baptism, we die when we go into the waters, and yet we rise to new life, a life that is really life. Or, in baptism, we die and are turned in on self, the part that focuses only on us and forgets about others, was crucified and buried with Jesus. That part of us that longs only for what we want dies in that. And we are raised with Jesus to live as new human beings in a new order of existence, a new way of being. Next one. Now here's the thing. Daily we return to our baptism. Our turning on self dies again, and a new human being, the Christ self, is raised again to live in the new order of existence. Do you think that Mendoza, everything in his life completely changed from that moment to the fullness? I mean, in one sense it did, but do you think that he completely became a new person? No, it's a journey. I mean, every day we wake up, I think of this once. The person wakes up and let's go. He says, it's a prayer. He's saying, God, thank you that today I've been wonderful to everybody, I've been kind, and everything has gone just great, and I've been the kind of person I want to be, but in a moment I'm going to get out of bed, and I'm going to need your help. And I think the realization is that no matter what God has done, no matter the journey we've been on, that there's always a new place to go, that we need that dying again to the way we've been, the new way of living. And as we die, we're renewed each day. The pattern of Jesus' life becomes the pattern of our lives, both our individual lives and our life together as the church. That daily, God is continuing to move in us, to change us, washing us again, setting us free, bringing us to new life. Next one. And Jesus' no becomes our no. His yes becomes our yes. We want to, in the coming weeks, this is what we want to explore. What is it that Jesus is saying no to, this way of glory? And what is it he's saying yes to in this way of the cross? And what does it mean to us in our lives and the way we live? And I want to invite us into this journey because, you know what? We may not have walked in those exact things that we see that this character Mendoza. And by the way, the movie is based on a true story of what happened in South America in the 1750s. But each of us has come through things that we struggle with, that we don't want to let go of, ways of living that we don't want to let go of, that we know is slowly bringing us death. And what we're invited to, that we're given in this gift through Jesus, is a new way, a way of dying to those old ways of being and of coming to a new life. And I'm going to invite us to explore that way of following, that way of living in these coming weeks together as we come into the season of Christmas and the invitation that God gives us of a new way of living out the peace we're given in that baby in the manger. So let's pray. God, this day we give you thanks because you have given us something that we can never earn. In fact, you've given us something that sometimes we would rather avoid because you know, as we know, that it calls us to let go of things that we think give life, yet we know bring death. And we ask that you would help us to come to that place of letting go of that turn in on self, that thing that focuses on us alone and what we want more than others, and to give ourselves for the sake of others because you gave yourself for us. And we know that we cannot do this on our own, that only you breaking in, setting us free, casting us from us those bonds that hold us, the weight that we drag behind us, and giving us life and forgiveness. We know that only this can come from you and only as a gift. And so we ask that you would help us, God, in this journey, that you would give us this gift each day, that you would wash us anew, that you would call us to a new way of living, and that you would set us free to live the way you live. And we ask you that you might be the one who gives us this gift in your precious name. And all God's people.